Hello, craft beer friends, and welcome to Season 12, Episode 8 of Tap to Craft Podcast. I am Denny Luce coming to you from Boise, Idaho, and my partner in craft, the dog whisperer, and my favorite Florida man from Tampa, Florida, Mr. Kris McKenzie. How are you doing tonight, buddy?
Denny, well, it's a Monday, right?
It's a
So we're,
Monday.
I feel like you and I are always, we get on here and we go, I'm tired, but we're good. But the day at the beach today, looking for some more shark's
Ooh,
teeth.
yeah.
Found a few hundred of them, so I'll count them in the morning when they all dry. But I'm doing very well. Thank you for asking. And what about you? How are you doing?
I'm doing good. It's just trying to stay dry. It's definitely fall. Rain has come, wind has come. No snow yet, so
No
we're
snow
lucky
yet.
there. Today we had a little bit of reprieve. It was supposed to rain all weekend. Yesterday on Sunday, it was nice that it didn't rain until about 7:30 or so. I think it started raining, which was perfect because we had our trunk or treat event, and I was afraid I was gonna get soaking wet standing out with our cat themed trunk,
Mm.
but it didn't. We had a good turnout and passed out a lot of candy. Saw some great costumes and some families out having fun. Uh, some good, honest, clean fun.
Okay, good.
Yeah, but the wind was blowing, so it was a little cold. It said that it was like 40 some degrees, felt like 32, and I believe it with the wind. It felt pretty 32-ish.
Well, I mean, that's an appropriate for what Matt Griffo said he's drinking. He's drinking a celebration right now.
Celebration. I heard that was making its way out to the shelves. It's
Oh
time to go
man.
get some celebration.
I mean, it'll be November in a couple of days. I mean,
I
it's
know, I know, I know.
weird.
It is crazy. This year is flying
Mm.
by. Really, it really is. Well, talking about flying by, this show is going to be flying by before I even get the intro finished. So let's get this show started. But before we get too far into the show, we always want to let anyone new listening to Tap to Craft Podcast know what we're all about. We are an educational podcast focused around celebrating all things craft beer because we want to assist you, our listener, along in your craft beer journey and adventures. And you're listening to episode 294, recording on Monday, October 27th, 2025. And we are live on Facebook. If you would like to join us during our recording session, you can do that on the Monday prior to release at 8:30 Eastern Time. Just look for that invite or that notice on Facebook saying that we've gone live and join us for the whole show or a portion of the show. Say hi, and we'd love to have you along for the ride. And let's see. I got to tell you what the topic is this week. It's Halloween season. We just got done talking
Hmm.
about
Hmm.
some Halloween stuff. So I thought, why not have a Halloween themed show, or at least topic? And so we're going to have a spooky tale of Halloween craft beer. Something a little different than it's kind of a little bit different than just naming off some craft beers that are spooky themed. It's a little bit incorporating a lot of different aspects. So look forward to that. And we have a few Alabama and a Tennessee beer tasting, thanks to Batman Dan. Sent Kris and I a little care package each full of Alabama beer and this one Tennessee beer that we'll be drinking as well. So look forward to that. 3 tastings we're going to have throughout the show, as well as some great conversation between Kris and I. And let's get this conversation started because we're going to open up our first beer tasting number 1. It's going to be, if you remember back from our previous Alabama tastings, Batman Dan had sent us a few straight to L. Um, they're called straight to L, but the brewery straight to L beers, and they were very good. An old ale and a Scotch ale, no
No,
stout.
the
Shout
shout to the
to the
devil
devil
was a stout with coffee.
was a stout. Yeah,
Yeah.
with coffee. Yeah, and then it was there was an old ale too that was
Yep.
I think barrel aged. That was really
And
good.
unobtainium. That was
Oh,
the old that
yeah, Unobtainium. That was it. Yeah, Unobtainium. Yeah, good.
well,
All right. So the beer we're going to be drinking is straight to El Frio Loco
so this is
Mexican style
appropriate right
lager.
now because we're getting into not only Halloween season, but Day of the Dead season. So Got
Yes.
appropriate flags on the can for it. So,
Nice. All right, let's open this can up. I do like the artwork. It's very like Kris said. It's got flags and things on there. It's colorful. I like artwork that's not just bland. Okay, we're pouring this beer. I got this into my lager B cup. I brought three different B cups up: a lager, an IPA, and a stout. That gives you a little hint of what we have in store for you today.
son of a bitch.
Lager.
I cleaned my glass too. Look at this.
Wow, look at that dirty glass. You dirty
Unprofessional.
boy. You dirty boy. Yeah.
Look at that. All the
Okay.
bubbles are gone. Ta-da.
Nice job. Okay. It's got a nice golden color.
hmm
You can see through it. I can see Kris through the glass. It's got a nice head. It's just slightly off white, very dense bubbles, holding out about a half a finger right now. I probably could have poured a little more heavier and it would have been a little bit bigger, but that's nice. I don't need to have too much foam on there.
Jesse, I'm not putting
Ooh,
acetone in my beer glass. Calm down.
taking taking a whiff, definitely get the heavy malt, grainy character out of the malt in the aroma. Maybe a little bit corny, a little bit of cream corn in there. But yeah, it smells great, man. It smells crispy too. This can be a crispy boy.
It's crackery.
It's crackery.
I
It's
like this
crackery.
one.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. You've already had this one, huh? You've already tried
Well,
this one.
okay, so I have had this one because
Okay.
I love the fact that, Denny, that we get these beers sent to us. So Dan, thank you for sending these beers out. But yeah, you could have suggested hydrochloric acid. Yeah, that's right. Um, and I never know what beers we're gonna drink, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I've got these beers sitting here, and I don't really want to go buy more, so I'll just drink what I have. And then Denny's like, hey, we're gonna taste this beer, and this beer, and I'm like, shit, do I have them? Do I drink them? Fortunately,
Well,
I have them all today.
yeah. At least I picked the right ones for
Yeah.
this episode. So this is a Mexican style lager coming at 5.5% ABV out of Huntsville, Alabama. So this is one of the Alabama beers. I did take a sip. It is crisp. It is clean. It does have a pretty decent cracker malt character. A little bit of sweetness in the back, but not too sweet. Easy drinking, good, and malty. It's a Mexican lager.
Yep. Simple and effective. And Dan said, that's why I send two. Smart,
Yeah,
smart thinking.
yeah.
Okay.
He's a smart
Yeah,
guy.
yeah, it
Smart guy.
definitely is. Um, but just like I said, it's a simple beer. It's kind of
Yeah.
it is crispy as far as the lagers go, and I like that they put in like a Mexican style lager. Like it's a Mexican style lager with some flavor, with some
Hmm.
with some. It's not Corona. Let's just put it that way.
No. Not Corona for sure. And it's got a little bit of fruity, um, a little fruitiness in there too in the finish, which is nice. A little hop fruitiness, I think. But yeah, I'm halfway done with my beer.
hmm
I I spaced these beer tastings out so we wouldn't try to pound them too quick, but we might have to do the other tasting before we get to the brew bus at this rate.
If it happens, it
I needed,
happens, you know?
yeah, I needed some beer because I was getting some phlegm in my throat. I scarfed down some food right before we got on the show because I would have a little bit of bass in my stomach before we started drinking.
Yeah.
And I think I might have ate too fast because I was feeling the effects. But now the beer is washing it down really nice.
Yeah. Jesse said, would you add lime with it? I would. Lime, I think lime would be a good addition to this one.
I,
I just
yeah.
had one recently. I can't remember what it was, but it had lime already added to it. And oh no. I'm about to kind of eat my words. I was
Oh,
given a Corona when I was in Orlando.
on
And
purpose?
listen, somebody said, hey, you want a beer or anything? And they were like, I was like, sure. Well, what do you want? I'm like, we were in the middle of a hotel. I didn't know what they had. I was like, well, whatever you get, just get me one.
Oh, yeah, mistake.
That's
You, sh-
okay.
you should have
Listen,
said, "Give me the best beer you've got."
that person may not have known what that was.
That was Corona with a lime.
That, you know what? And it hit the spot because that was a
There
long
you go.
day. That was a long day.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think some lime in this one, Jesse, would be a good addition too.
Yeah, I think so too. I think that would go good. Even if you just took the lime wedge and just kind of give it a rim job,
Yep.
and then just use that. And as you drink and get the taste of that lime on the cup as the beer goes down, would be good too.
hmm
So
Yep.
okay, I'm gonna stop. This is a really good beer, easy drinking. I literally could have drank this whole thing already. It's super easy, really good. I'm enjoying this Mexican style lager. It's not heavy. One thing that frustrates me with some Mexican lagers is sometimes they come across a little too heavy, and a heavy lager makes me only want to drink one. I need something. I
Yeah.
like lagers that are not so heavy, so I can drink one and drink another one right after it. So I like the fact that this one is not too heavy. Okay, all right. First beer is almost done, but we'll sip on this a little bit while we go through the show. But before we get into the meat of the content, Kris and I would like to thank all of our Patreon supporters because this episode is brought to you in part by our satisfied Patreon supporters like Mike Allen, Bill Slemmer, Amanda and Kevin Argauer, Mike Blanchard, Tara Carlson, and Jim Kutzel, Alex Fuchs, and Eric Scotty Ward. These are all of our virtual producers. And Tom Byrne, Jeff Seiler, Johan Halberg, Challen Moss, Mark Church, Eric Groundley, and Batman Dan, who want to buy us a virtual beer. And we got my buddy Peter Tim, who just wants to toast us, the hosts. If you enjoy the content we provide, we invite you to support the show by toasting your hosts or buying us a virtual beer or even becoming a virtual producer. You can explore the options on our support page by visiting patreon.com/tapthecraft. All right, Kris, we got a Beer Speak 101. We didn't do one last week because we had a great show with Pontoon Brewing, and it went a little bit long, and so we had to cut out a lot of content. But we do have a Beer Speak 101 topic. Would you like to read our topic?
Yeah, we're going to be talking about the term quaff.
Ooh, quaff.
And
Not queef.
quaff.
Quaff.
That's two. It's two now, Denny. I was
I just slipped that in. No one heard. No one.
no,
Oh, no.
no, they did because but after you said rim job, I got comments from Jesse and Dan of emojis like and I just said he really does surprise me with the things he says sometimes, and then you're over here saying queef. No, Danny, I said quaff.
Oh, quaff. Yes,
Quaff,
quaff.
yeah, it's a little kind of along the same lines as bunghole as far as the term
Yes.
goes. But let's talk about the definition of it. The verb quaff means to drink something, especially an alcoholic beverage, heartily, with enjoyment, and often in large gulps, kind of like what we're doing with this beer. Um, in the context of beer drinking, it usually carries a positive, slightly old-fashioned or playful tone. It suggests savoring and enjoying a beer rather than clinical consumption. God, if we're drinking beer clinically,
Yeah, we're definitely.
well, I mean, we do. I guess we do drink it clinically. I mean, we cracked this beer open and we consumed it clinically, and now we're quaffing our mouth away. Quaffable is a common adjective in tasting notes. Man, these are some fun. You know what? I hope if I ever enter a homebrew beer, somebody calls it quaffable.
Mhm.
Maybe ooh, good beer name. Barkyard Brewing needs a new beer name. There it is,
Okay.
quaffable. It means a beer that is smooth, easy to drink, and refreshing without overwhelming bitterness or heaviness. It's distinct from slam, implies speed, or sip implies delicacy. Quaff sits right in the middle.
Hmm.
Hearty, but appreciative. So when someone says a beer is highly quaffable, they mean it's delicious, easy to keep drinking, and goes down easy goes down smooth.
Yeah, yeah, quaff. So you've probably, if you're not untapped, you probably see this term used, by some people. Just means, like we said, it's easy to drink, not fast drinking, just easy, easy drinker, goes down smooth. Okay, there is our Beer Speak 101. Great job, Kris. You nailed that topic. I got a burp. Oh, this Mexican lager it went down real easy. I'm trying to decide if I want to do another beer tasting already or let's get into the brew buzz. Why not?
Okay,
So
we'll start the brew buzz and then
maybe halfway through we can
yes.
goes. We'll do part one and part two. A little intermission, a little beer drinking intermission. All right. Well, now it is time for the Brew Buzz, and the Brew Buzz is devoted to discussing various beer-related topics. This week, we're going to learn about, or not really learn about. We're going to talk about. We're going to tell you a spooky side of craft beer story, kind of. Let me just start this off. The opening scene goes
It's
like
like
this.
we're gonna maybe
I don't
almost.
know. This is one of those topics that is hard to quantify as far as what it is. It's just like
We're just gonna have some fun.
we're gonna have some fun. And here's the opening scene. It's a toast to the dark season. As the nights grow longer and the air sharpens with that first bite of fall, something begins to stir in the kettles of America's craft breweries. Cauldrons bubble, pumpkins are roasted, and brewers, those modern day alchemists, reach for spices, smoke, and magic to conjure their Halloween creations. It's the one time of the year when beer meets the supernatural, when flavor and folklore
Watch your
collide.
mouth, mister.
Welcome to Spirits and Suds, the haunted world of Halloween craft beer. All right.
So it's brewing with the spirits of autumn. Halloween brewing didn't just appear from thin air. It grew out of old world harvest traditions.
True.
In ancient Celtic lands, the festival of Samhain marked the end of the harvest and the beginning of the darker half of the year. Farmers and brewers alike celebrated survival, storing grains, fermenting ales, and lighting fires to ward off spirits. Centuries later, the same sense of ritual lives on in every pumpkin beer and spiced ale that hits the taps in October. For craft brewers, fall is an invitation to get weird, to turn malt and hops into potions worthy of the season. There's a little witchcraft in every good fermentation, says one brewer, grinning behind his mash tun. Yeast is the ghost that never quite dies.
Wow. Nice. Okay. Now, what about monsters in the tap room? Well, walk through any bottle shop in October and you'll notice something peculiar. The labels come alive. Blood red lettering, claw marks, bats, ghouls, skeletons, clutching pints. The season has its own bestiary of brews. Wow, that's a word I almost screwed
Be
up.
bestiary? Beast.
Beast
I'd say that's bestiary.
bestiary. Oh, I did screw it up then. Bestiary.
I like your version though.
Bestiary.
Bestiary. Not. Don't
Yeah,
slip. Remember, you've
I,
got two
I,
so far.
I've never been a wordsmith, so yeah, it's okay. Some of the most beloved Halloween themed beers are playful nods to the monstrous, such as Zombie Dust by Three Floyds Brewing, an undead pale ale that refuses to die in popularity because it's damn good.
It's damn good.
Oatmeal Stout by Howl Brewing, dark, silky, and just feral enough. Dracula's Nectar Blood Orange IPA by New Magnolia Brewing, citrusy and sinister. Ghost in the Machine from Parish Brewing, a spectral hazy IPA that haunts tap lists year round.
That's a good one too.
Yeah, so we've talked about two of those beers, the first and last.
Hmm.
I know that you're a big fan of Ghost in the Machine
And a
beers.
lot of the versions of them.
Yeah, so it's so yeah, these are good. These are good options here. So each label tells a mini story, a spooky invitation to taste something out of the ordinary. And brewers have learned that pairing the right style with the right monster amplifies the fun. So vampires, they like red ales and blood orange IPAs, crimson, rich, and a little dangerous. Werewolves, they like wild fermented or Brett beers, untamed, unpredictable. Mummies, ancient grain ales or honey beers,
Mm.
a nod to old world recipes. And ghosts, pale, hazy, and either ethereal wheat beers. I can't say the wheat.
Ethereal.
Ethereal,
Yeah.
ethereal. Oh yeah, hauntingly drinkable. It's part horror, part art, and all heart. Craft beer gives us permission to play with our fears, one pint at a time.
I'm sorry, it's ethereal.
Ethereal. Yeah,
Ethereal.
that's right. I knew it. In my head, I knew
Yeah, I
what it
heard
was.
it. We just couldn't spit it out right. And, well, it's funny that we're talking about these too, because of what I have sitting next to me on my desk is
Oh yeah, Cali Creamin' and
a label
Screamin'.
from that Cali Screamin' cream ale from Mother Earth. I'm in the midst of I think I've got all their video snippets all scheduled when we were talking with Kris. So
Oh, good, good. Those would be good ones. He has
yeah,
some great.
those were some fun ones. No, some funny, goofy ones, but also some fun, kind of down to earth conversations just about
Yeah,
beer too. So,
yeah.
speaking of pumpkin beers, the rise and rebirth of pumpkin beer. No
Hmm.
Halloween beer conversation. Denny, you want to crack another beer yet?
No, let's just finish this. We're going
Okay.
pretty quick.
Okay. No Halloween beer conversation is complete without the great gourd in the room. Pumpkin beer once ruled the fall season, its spiced aroma filling every bar and grocery aisle. Then came the backlash. Drinkers cried, "Overdone!" and turned their attention to hazy IPAs and pastry stouts. But recently, a quieter, better balanced pumpkin beer revival has been brewing. Breweries like Dogfish Head with Pumpkin Ale and Southern Tier with Pumpkin helped restore the style's credibility. The new wave emphasizes real roasted pumpkin, earthy malt, and subtle spice instead of pumpkin pie perfume. When you taste a good pumpkin beer, notes a Georgia brewer, you're tasting fall itself. Roasted squash, campfire smoke, and the faint memory of cinnamon. Pumpkin beer, once a Halloween cliche, has become a seasonal tradition again, just with a little more restraint and craftsmanship.
Yeah, they're still alive and coming out. Earlier and earlier. Like in July, you're getting pumpkin
Yep,
beers.
seasonal creep.
Um, yeah, and I'm going to be honest with you. I was never a big pumpkin beer fan, but I'm drinking more pumpkin beers lately than I have because, like I said, they're not just filling it full of spice just to overspice you. They're
Yeah,
doing it in a way that really gives you some nuance, good beer, and not just a bunch of spices that are over the top. So yeah, I am drinking more pumpkin beers,
well, the
and I enjoy them.
and I do too. And I used to uh, be very excited about them. And my brother, who lives, I don't know, 20 minutes from Dogfish Head, was
Mm.
always all about their pumpkin ale. And I remember getting it. I was still living in Ohio. This is before I was doing the podcast with you guys on a regular basis. And I remember getting it and drinking it and going, this is kind of boring.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah,
it
yeah.
wasn't
Pumpkin is
anything
that one
exciting.
is kind of boring. Yeah,
But now having this conversation, I'm kind of curious of retrying it again. Maybe I
yeah,
just go grab a can or a bottle of it and let's give
yeah,
it another go.
yeah. So I had it again last year, last season. I had a bottle of it, and it's okay. But there's better ones out there. I like the Pumpkin from Southern Tier, and the
Yeah,
Warlock. I think is even better. I
I
love the
agree.
Warlock.
I agree.
And I like pumpkin beers that are in a darker, that come a little darker style because I just think it works really well with the spices.
Yeah, yeah. I still have to get my pumpkin in this year. I do get one every year.
Okay.
I love that beer.
All right. Do it. Do it. All right. How about haunted breweries and ghost stories on tap? Of course, it wouldn't be Halloween without a few actual ghosts lurking around the brew house. Many old breweries, often built in repurposed factories, taverns, or basements, have tales of flickering lights, clanking chains, and unseen guests who refuse to leave. At Buffalo's Pearl Street Grill and Brewery It's said to house multiple spirits and not the drinkable kind. Moon River Brewing in Savannah has such an active haunting, it's featured on ghost tours. And in the
Yes.
UK, legends of the ghost in the mash tun go back centuries when unexplained fermentations were blamed on mischievous spirits. Yeah, blame the ghost.
Yeah. Yeah.
The ghost prop.
Yeah. The ghost, my fermentation stuck because the ghost did it.
Yeah, yeah. One brewer in Oregon swears he hears footsteps near the fermentation tanks after midnight. Quote, maybe it's just the yeast releasing gas, he laughs, but I always say cheers before I lock up.
Hmm.
Haunted or not, these stories remind us that beer has always lived in the thin space between the living and the dead. The warm buzz of life sets against the cold season's approach. Wow, nice.
So Matt Griffo said Pumpkin Ale is decent, but he also said he's excited for the one that Sky Puppy just released. So
Oh, wow.
I might have to go try that one out too.
Have you gone to Sky Puppy yet?
I have been there once. It was
Okay.
just I was expecting to go in and maybe sit down and
Mm-hmm.
have conversations with people, but Tina and I went in. I think it was either a Friday or a Saturday night. And man, I went in there and there was no place to sit.
Yeah.
So we go in and see this table, and it's a two top sandwiched
Mm-hmm.
between two other groups. And Denny, I had to like scoot in sideways to get into the seat. And I swear I bumped this lady in her head with my butt to
Oh.
get in, as a gentleman should. Um, and we sat down, and the lady comes over and actually takes our order. And all of a sudden we look over, and there's this half circle booth. The people get up and they pay their tab and they leave, and Tina goes and just runs over to the table and sits down, and the bartender comes over and was like, oh yeah, let me clean that off for you, and we're like, yes, this is so much more comfortable. so
Nice. Good
so uh,
move. Good move.
so I would love to go over there and try a few things instead of just like, oh, well, we got a beer. I'm gonna sit here and enjoy it, kind of thing. But brewing with the dark arts,
Ooh.
Halloween inspires experimentation. This is when brewers start summoning unusual ingredients, that the kind that make purists raise an eyebrow, like activated charcoal for jet black lagers, or beet juice for blood red color, blackberries, blackcurrant, and blood orange for tart, gory sours,
Hmm.
squid ink for subtle salinity and shadowy appearance. Nah, I'll skip the squid ink.
Yeah, I don't need a squid ink.
And aged rum and whiskey barrels for potions that taste of oak and smoke. And
Yeah.
that's the real charm of the season. Beer becomes storytelling in liquid form. Each brew tells a gothic tale, malt as the earth, yeast as the spirit, and hops as the spell that binds it all.
Yeah. Yeah. So the beet juice, I've had beers with beet juice in it, and
Hmm.
and I actually it gives it also gives it kind of an
An
earthy
earthy
uh,
taste.
taste, but it's actually really good. I don't know if I've had anything with activated charcoal. That's interesting.
That, that, I don't know. I feel like that would dry out the beer and
Yeah, and
make it kind of
possibly
chalky.
remove and also maybe remove some, activated charcoal has a lot, it's
Filtering.
great for if you have some kind of stomach bug, you
Yeah.
take some activated charcoal and it like everything grasps to it and you get rid of it. But yeah, I don't know about beer. I don't know if I've ever had one with with that in there. But of course, blackberries, black currants, and blood orange I
Oh yeah.
have, and I love black currant in my beer. I love black currants is one of my favorite little berries. Love currants, and I don't think I've ever had anything with squid ink in it. I think I can pass on that one.
The only thing I've ever had with squid ink in it is the pasta.
I don't think I've had any pasta with squid ink
It
in
just
it either.
it just looks like
Just
a
black.
dark gray pasta.
Yeah, that doesn't sound very
It
appetizing.
doesn't taste any different. It just
Yeah,
looks
yeah, it just
different.
looks dark.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it'd be great for Halloween dinners.
Yeah, yeah. All right, well, let's finish this story off by talking about some Halloween beer pairings and some events that might be happening around your area. As Halloween approaches, breweries and beer bars turn into scenes straight out of a campy horror flick. You'll find Monster Mash tap takeovers, black light beer crawls, and haunted brewery tours where the only thing scarier than the ghost stories is the 10% ABV stout. True,
Very
true
much.
there. That's very true. For at-home celebrations, pair your beers with the following Halloween treats. So I'm going to pair the candy with the beer pair here, okay? Reese's peanut butter cups.
That's the Lord's
Goes
candy.
Yeah, goes
Hmm.
well with a chocolate stout or a peanut butter porter. Candy corn. No, nobody eats candy corn.
That's Satan's candy.
Yes, cream ale or light lager. Caramel apple, spice cider or amber ale. I think definitely amber
Hmm.
ale would go good with that. Dark chocolate, imperial stout or black IPA. Yeah. In fact, I had some chocolate. I had a pairing. Um, we, I did a chocolate and beer pairing at the chocolate bar. I think it was a chocolate bar, or was it somewhere else? Gosh, we did a chocolate and beer pairing, and I'll tell you what, dark chocolate definitely goes well with a black IPA.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, and how about pumpkin pie, which is not really a candy; it's pumpkin pie, but a brown ale or a Belgian double, which I
Oh
agree
yeah.
completely on both of those. Great with pumpkin pie spices and yeah, and good.
So Jesse just said that Dan hates Reese's peanut butter cups.
Okay.
And I have somebody else recently told me two people. One person's just allergic to peanuts, so she can't have
Yeah,
them. But
yeah.
someone else told me that they just don't understand the combination of peanut butter and chocolate. And I went,
Oh, wow, peanut butter and chocolate
that
is great.
that is probably one of the best flavor combinations ever on this planet.
Yeah, it's
Um,
great. Yeah.
so I don't know about you, Dan.
That's okay. Everyone has their own
No,
thing.
it's not.
I'm not gonna shame him
I
for that.
will.
But
You might not, but I will just because I care.
all right, there's one last pro tip that we have here for you. When you're drinking on Halloween, maybe pour that dark beer into a goblet or skull-shaped glass for maximum spooky effect.
Yeah.
All right, so there is our Halloween spooky craft beer tale. Went through a whole bunch of different topics in a little quick form, something a little different for our Halloween episode. I hope you guys all enjoyed it. And now we're going to enjoy our second beer tasting of the night. This beer, we're going from the light, malty, crisp character of a Mexican style lager to a little stronger, hoppy West Coast style
Hmm.
IPA. Good People's Brewing's IPA is what it's called. Yep, there it is. Chris is showing
It's
it
got
off.
some very similar characteristics to another type of beer that I know of. So this is very natural light looking to me.
Yeah, it kind of does look like natty. Yeah, natural light, but this is definitely not
No,
your
it's
natural
definitely
light.
not.
But yeah, the IPA is very simple. But I so this is one of the beers. This is the only beer tonight that I've had the first can of that Dan
Oh,
sent us.
okay. Okay. Yeah, you
So
did
I've
tell me
had
that.
this one,
You've had this one. So have I. Actually,
and
I've had all these.
I'm going to say right now, I'm going to premise this with I love this IPA. This IPA is a throwback, old school IPA that I started drinking back in the '90s, that fell in love with. And when I drank this, I was just in heaven. Now I'm hoping it has the same effect on the second can I had, but I gave this a 5 cap rating. That's how good this
Hmm.
IPA is. So it's already in my Untapped. You guys can go and see it. But it's 7.18% ABV, 75.5 IBUs.
It's very specific.
Uh, Good People's Brewing is out of Birmingham, Alabama. And here's what they had to say about this. It says our flagship brew, the unfiltered dry hopped IPA with copper colored or aromatic punch. Herbal and earthy hops are balanced with a light caramel finish. Crisp and refreshing. It's a hop lover's dream. The hops in this thing are Columbus, Willamette, Cascade, Simcoe, and Citra. Some great hops right there.
Hmm.
Malts are two row, and there's 5 specialty malts in this IPA. And just as it said, they're absolutely correct. This is
Mm.
slightly, slightly,
That's
not, I wouldn't say hazy, just unfiltered. You just can't
yeah,
see through it very well. Very like deep amber coloring. The head has even got
it's
like a light
dense.
tan. Yeah, dense. One finger. Look at that. One finger head. Dense bubbles. This is the way an IPA, an old school IPA poured, just like this, right? That caramel malt, uh, coming through a little bit. Now, a lot of people are gonna foo-foo the fact that all the IPAs back in the old days and in the '90s were all heavy caramel base with hops put on there, and that got old. Well, you
Mm.
know what? Sometimes going back to the old stuff is kind of refreshing from all the non-caramel malt
Yeah, most
IPAs
definitely.
that we're drinking lately. So this one, you definitely can feel. When I remember, I could feel that it does have that caramel base, but still great hop character that was just fantastic. Look at that head is sticking around. That's still a one finger head.
Well, mine's
Impressive.
not as
Hmm.
stuck, but I do want to see if I can drink it to where the head
Oh yeah, yeah.
is.
So
It's like splitting the G on a Guinness, right?
that's right. All right, the aroma again reminds me of all those old school IPAs. You got the big resinous hop character, some pininess in there, some some earthiness in there as well. Just smells, just reminds me of the '90s IPA right there. All right, let's take a sip. You took a sip already, Kris? Yeah, you did.
Did I do it?
Mm. Mm-hmm.
Well, it just depends on how much I tip it back or tip
Nice
it
job.
forward.
Nice job.
Look at
Okay, you drink it. Definitely get
that. There's a
that
bite
malty
at the
caramel. Yeah.
end.
And you get the hops right from the beginning, kind of like melts to the top of your roof of your mouth and follows it all the way down to the finish. Nice, solid bitter that you can
Hmm.
feel those 75.5 IBUs in there. Not just saying they have it, you can actually feel it in there. You got that the little bit of a. Now this is an IPA that um, because it is a little stronger. I can drink 2 of them and probably stop because for one thing, they're 7.1%. So 7.1%, I'm good.
Yep.
Also, it does have some, like I said, resinous, big hop thickness, in there that I can drink 2 before my gut starts to say, okay, enough of that big, that big burly hop stuff. But man, it's super good. Really, really good IPA. So if you guys are floating around the Birmingham, Alabama area and find Good People's Brewing, you better go stop at Good People's Brewing because they make some good beer and they're good people. So
I mean, the label even says so.
that's right. And it happens when I was drinking this beer, I was drinking it, I think it was on Jesse's birthday, and she was at the brewery as well. So we were drinking Good People beer together on her birthday.
Nice.
So that was nice.
Denny, I was just thinking about something about your pro tip of pour the beer into a goblet or a skull-shaped
Hmm.
glass. Nobody drinks from the skulls of their enemies anymore.
Well, maybe should we should we start that trend
I'll
back up?
3D print a couple, and I got a red one out in the kitchen. It's got a plant in it though.
Oh, that's funny. That's funny. All right. Anything else to say about the beer?
I love the fact that the way you described it too is that you said you felt the bitterness, and I was
Hmm.
thinking that right before you said it, and the fact that it is just like those old school West Coast IPAs where, that bitterness just overwhelms your entire palate from
Hmm.
front to
Yeah.
back.
Yep.
And it's just like it's like on the roof of my mouth in the
Hmm.
back. Like you can just you can feel it. It's kind of amazing. But you get that sweetness
Mm-hmm.
from the malt in there too. So, you get this sweet right up front, and then all of a sudden it just turns bitter and it just grabs you by the uvula
Mm-hmm.
and uh and changes that really quickly. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Great beer. I'm already almost done with it,
Yeah, I'm about
which is
halfway
good because
myself.
I need to make sure that I can rid myself of some of that bitterness before we get to the stout
Hmm.
here. Okay, we have an Chris. I lost track of our interviews. I know we have an interview coming up on our next episode on November 10th. Matt and Caitlin Rye from Brewed and Bread Apparel. Is that
Yep,
true?
that's true.
Okay. Is there another brewery that I missed that has scheduled? No, no other
Nope.
breweries. Okay. Okay.
So I set up our interview schedule um to where you and I, once we do that interview on November 10th because of Thanksgiving, I
Oh
think
yeah.
I think I blocked off the last half of November and the
Okay.
majority of December just because of the
Okay.
holidays. And
Yeah.
since
Yeah.
you and I usually have to tend to reschedule things around Christmas and stuff.
Yeah. Good. Yeah, you're smart. Good thinking there, Chris. Good thinking. All right. So yeah, we have that upcoming interview next episode. We got some feedback from the episode before last because we skipped through all this last episode. So going back to episode 292, where we had Chad Lamassa, we interviewed Chad Lamassa, or we didn't interview him. We had him on to join us on the show, and he wrote us an email to remind us something he forgot to mention while he was on. He said, I was going to mention this when I was on, but I didn't really know the flavor profile, etc. But a new hop has been discovered in Maryland last year or so. Apparently, it's now the Maryland state hop. Not sure if you'd want to use it for a hop segment at some point. No pressure, just a thought. I'd share it. It's the Monocacy. How do you say that word?
Monocacy.
Monocacy. That's what I thought. Monocacy hop. And did you release that video that you made?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
so Kris actually released a little video segment that talks about this exact hop after Chad shared with us an article about the hop. It was really cool article too. So
And I know so the fact that I'm going through all of these, no, Dan, it's not crab flavored. I wish it was though. Uh, let 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 I'm gonna derail for a little bit. Dan
crab
and
flavor.
Jesse, since you guys,
Oh.
for those of you that don't know, I went to high school with Dan and Jesse. So my brother just texted me right before the show and said, I've got this great idea. And I was like, okay, what is it? He goes, I want to make a pumpkin cream of crab soup. And I went, what are you, high? And he goes, no. He goes, I just had cream of crab with local peaches in it. And I
Mm.
went, I would have never thought to put that together. He goes, it was spicy and it was sweet and it was delicious. And I went, I would have never thought to put those two things together. So just the fact that they were, yeah, Dan said crab flavored, Jesse said Old Bay hops. Yeah, like I'm
Oh,
still
oh no.
peaches. No, yes,
That's
peaches. Yes, it's my favorite flavor. Um, but yeah, just the thought of those combinations, and I'm like, maybe it could work. Maybe I don't know. But yeah, the Monocacy hop thing was really cool because
Mhm.
I'm going through a lot of our episodes and pulling all these video clips and stuff out of it with this AI platform we've been using. And it's funny because I just the episode where I chose my new Untapped username,
Mhm.
I told you that I used AI to help me choose a name. And I said, okay, listen, I used AI to start giving me some ideas. And you went, oh God, no. And I went, come on, man. That's like I put in what I was looking for. And, you know, now you're using it. I love it.
I am using AI
Hmm.
a lot because I think AI has gotten to a point where it's bringing back good results, and it's definitely making my life easier at work
Yeah.
and for the show as well.
Well,
Um,
so that video that I made Chad sent us, and if you guys want to send us any articles, this platform that we've been using will take the article and we put in some criteria of what we're looking for, and it will generate a video. Like we just take we take the link. Thank you, Jesse. She said, "Be careful; it's not reliable for chemistry." You are my chemistry go-to, I promise. Um, so all I did was plug in the link to the story that Chad sent us, and then I had to choose a few things, give it a little bit of a prompt, and that's the video it put out. And I
Oh,
was like, cool. If you guys find any other cool stories or articles, we can make a video out of it.
yeah.
So send them to us,
Nice.
tapthecraft@gmail.com.
That's right. That's right. Okay, well, guess what? We've got some voicemail. Oh, thank you, Chad, for the feedback. And we've got some voicemail. Batgirl Jessie, she was on a roll. She sent us 4 voicemails, I think, on her birthday.
I'm waiting to
I
see
think
the
that's when they
I'm waiting to
were.
see the comment come up. Oh God. So
Yeah. So, and they're all great. They're all great. Short and sweet.
she said, no, we don't.
But But if you want to be like Batgirl Jesse and leave us a voicemail, you can do that at 208-536-3359. Too many numbers, I know, because you've been drinking like we have been drinking. How about 208-53-ODDLY? Just speed dial it, put it in your phone. Just tell your phone assistant to call Tap the Craft Podcast and leave us that voicemail. We'd love to get it on the air as well. So Kris, are you ready to queue up number 1 of Jesse's voicemails?
Here we go.
I don't hear
Hey
anything.
guys, we're on like a little brewery tour in Birmingham, and our first stop was Trim Tab Brewing. They have this sour beer called Creative Juices. It was a
Let the
plum
juices flow.
and guava, and it was delicious. I'm trying to like beg them to get it up in Huntsville, but so you'll probably get a series of calls since we got like 2 or 3 other ones that we're going to stop at. So you guys have a good one. Bye-bye.
She
See?
said, she said, trust me, it's a pain to dial while drinking. Yeah, put it in. Listen, it
That's
should
why
just be,
it should
yes,
be a contact. It should be a contact, and then you just tell it what you want to do.
that's right.
It's easy.
Okay, here's number 2.
Okay, number 2.
I said number 2, go.
So we're at Cahaba, and there is a beer. It's like Fluffer or something. And that's the beer that Dan orders. No idea what it is anymore. It's just too funny not to laugh. I had a sour, no idea what that was, but it was okay. It wasn't as good as the other one that I just had. But yeah, Dan drank Fluffer.
Right.
On to the next one.
I love it. These are like your
Uh,
buddy Mike
yeah,
when they
yeah.
were
Like
bouncing
short,
around all
short and
over the
sweet. Yeah,
Pacific
bouncing around.
Northwest.
Yeah, so it's funny that I mean, I understand that, Fluffer is
What is a fluffer, Denny?
it's a, it's a, I don't know, it's something dirty.
Okay.
I'm too
Don't you even say naive. Get out of here.
yeah, no, but what's funny is I know it's something that's kind of dirty, but I don't know what I need to look it up on
Yeah, Google that.
or
Don't just
whatever. But
don't Google it on your work computer, okay?
no.
Yeah.
But what's funny is I know it's something that's not that's not appropriate. But you remember Stella, our cat, right? Our big
Yeah.
fluffy ragdoll
Yeah,
Mancoon
yeah.
cat. So she is just big giant fluff ball. And so I always call her my little fluffer. But every time I say it, I think, I hope nobody hears me say that because that might be something that's not appropriate.
Oh, I can't wait till your neighbors hear you saying that. Who's my little fluffer? Who's my little fluffer?
All right. How about number
Number
3?
3.
Hey guys, so now we're sitting there good people. I've
Yes.
had a double hazy snake handler that I've had out of a can before, but it tastes way better on tap.
She just
Sitting
commented
here
that
watching
too.
the Blue Jays kick the Yankees' little butt tails. And it's kind of nice, people thinking that you're cheering on for football when you're really actually watching baseball. But I'm drunk as a skunk. I've been texting Denny, poor Denny, tonight. I'm so sorry, sweetheart. I love you. And you've put up with a lot tonight. And now I'm drinking the Sour Patch. Dan had one beer that was a lager. I'm not entirely sure what that was because it was too tipsy. But I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your night. The Blue Jays are 6-1 against the Yankees. Oh my dear God, I think, damn it, that was an out. But it was almost a home run. But you guys have a good night, and we will see you on Monday, or not this Monday, but Monday. Yeah, next Monday. Have a good one. Love you. Bye-bye.
Oh, yeah. She's
Hey,
definitely
listen,
starting to feel it now.
a loss for the Yankees is a win for America.
Oh, yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Even especially when it comes from a Canadian team. All right, here's number 4.
Okay, number 4.
He was supposed to say, hi, I'm driving, but he got gun shy. But I just want to say out of Trim Tap, Cahaba, and where were we just at?
Good people.
Oh, he spoke. It was good people.
And she's driving? That's what she said.
Trim Tab had the best sour. Shut up. If you let me talk, you don't want to talk. So, Trim Tab had the best sour. Cahaba was like, I would say, college people that drop beer glasses to what? Oh, yeah, frat housey. That's a good word.
Frat house,
It was
yeah.
very frat housey.
That's a good word.
And good people was really just like where you can kind of chill out. Oh, yeah, the parking lot and everything, it really looked, it was like Founders out in Grand Rapids, which was amazing. I love going there. But, no, they have great beer. Cahaba was my least favorite beer. It was not very, very good. No, I don't like Cahaba. But I do like Trim Tab, and I do like good people. So they were very good. But I love you guys. I'm sorry, very drunk. But Prosecco is at the hotel room. Talk to you later. Thump, thump. Bye-bye.
Okay, so 2 things. Number 1, please don't ever apologize. Number 2, this is what I live for on these voicemails. These are the ones that I'm like, come on, guys, drunk dial us. Come on, do it. And no one ever does it. Thank you for calling us. Even if you've had a few too many, thank you for sharing that with us.
Yeah, no, she deserved it. It was her birthday. I'm pretty sure it was her birthday. Maybe I'm mistaken, but if not, it's okay. My memory is crap, but it was a fun day because, as she mentioned in the last one, we were messaging back and forth all day, so it was a fun day, and she kept me informed of all the activities and everything that happened. So
that's awesome.
I was happy.
I'm glad you guys. She said yes, it was my birthday,
Yeah.
but I'm glad we can have that conversation back and forth too.
Yeah. Okay, well, if you would like to be like Chad and leave us an email, you can do that at taptocraft@gmail.com, or you can leave us any comments on Facebook at facebook.com/taptocraft. We do have a website at taptocraft.com to visit, where our show notes are located. And if you want to leave us a voicemail like Batgirl Jessie did, you can do that at 208-536-3359 or 208-53-ODDLY. We'd love to hear your voicemails. All right, Kris, are you ready to? How's your beer doing?
It's going
Okay,
well.
you're still drinking. Okay,
Yeah.
so it's let's continue the conversation because now it's time to untap the craft and see what our listeners are drinking according to Untapped.
So remember, if you guys want us to read your check-ins, which we do approximately 24 hours, we'll read the check-ins about 24 hours before our recording. Make sure you follow me on Untapped at K9 Hops. That's the letter K, the number 9, HOPS, and we will read your check-ins usually again 24 hours prior to the show that we record. Yeah, that came out right. So it was an interesting list because it went from Denny and your check into your Fresh Pine by Matchless Brewing a day
Mm.
ago, and
Hmm.
Logan Johnson checking into a Dragon's Milk and Dungeons and Dragons a day ago
Oh wow.
to 7 hours ago. Now, 7 hours ago, my time would have been 2:30 in the afternoon, 12:30 in the afternoon at Denny's house. So I don't know. Well, it's Bill Schlemmer. This is my first one,
Oh,
7 hours ago. So
7 hours ago. Okay.
7 hours ago, he's checking into a Eichinger Brau Oktoberfest by
Oh yeah,
Black
yeah.
Husky Brewing. And he said rich and malty with subtle fruit notes and mild sweetness. Delicious Oktoberfest. He gave that one 4.25 cap rating.
Nice.
Doing a little day drinking, Bill, on a Monday. So cheers to you, buddy. Thanks for the check-in. Jim Kudzall and Tara Carlson doing a couple of check-ins
Yeah.
today. Checked into a Sway by Crooked Hammock Brewery. Um, at Crooked Hammock Brewery. So he said New England IPA, even at 7.2% ABV, it's easy to have a few. I love this setup, by the way. I want to follow in their footsteps, whether it's at this place or some other place. It's easy to have a few pints when your hotel is next door.
Oh yeah.
Also, a deal at $5 per pint for happy hour.
Nice.
Also, found out that we got 10% off of our total tab by staying at the hotel. Yes!
Wow.
Four
That's
cap rating for
super
that beer.
bonus.
Yeah, so it was $5 and you got 10% off. So it was yeah,
450.
450
Wow. A
for
beer.
a
That's
pint.
great. That's
Um,
great.
and Tara commented on this check-in. He gave that a 4 cap rating for that Sway by Crooked Hammock. Tara commented on that check-in, well, since Jim Kudzall has a check-in for Tap the Craft, he's moving on to a crush cocktail. I love crush cocktails. They're delicious. Um, so, oh, I love the name of this beer. Tara Carlson is drinking a Sand in My Schwartz
Yeah.
by Crooked
Nice.
Hammock Brewery. She said, this is the lightest Schwartz beer I have ever had, but I'm not mad about that. Gotta start slow since we hit at happy hour and I have to get full pours to get my money's worth. That's right. That a girl. Get your money's worth in
I
those
love it.
beers. And I love the picture that you took of Jim in this check-in. It's such an inviting picture of him. Jim's holding up a glass, just kind of like
Yeah.
saying cheers.
Cheers.
But it's such an inviting photo. It's like I want to go sit down and just have a beer with him. Yes, Mel Brooks combed the desert. Jesse, you get some sand in your Schwartz. So for 4 cap rating, Tara and Jim are hopefully you guys got your money's worth over at Crooked Hammock Brewery. Um, and that must mean you guys are, come on, load faster. Oh, you're in Delaware.
Hmm.
Oh, jeez, that's by my brother's house.
Mm.
So, all right, moving on up the list. Anthony Chio is drinking a pineapple sticky shake by Tired Hands Brewing Company. He said this one's interesting. Loads of tropical fruits. Pineapple, peach, and mango are present, but heavier on the dankness than I was expecting. Minimal bitterness, but damn, it's dank. And no trace of the 7.5%. He gave that a 4 cap rating for the Tired Hands Pineapple Sticky Shake. And then moving on up our list, Tara and Jim again checking into a Crooktoberfest by Crooked Hammock Brewing. I love October. I love all you guys. Sounds like you're getting your money's worth. Um, And Chad Lamassa commented on it. Glad you guys are having a great time. So I love getting to see our listeners uh, interact with each other too, especially when, hey, before the show, they didn't know each other, but
Yeah.
now they do. Eric Scotty Ward is checking into a Fly Hopper. I love that beer.
Ooh,
That's a
Jim
good one.
Dandy.
Fly Hopper by Jim Dandy. And he said, beautiful straw color, citrus scent, great citrus grapefruit and pine flavor dry, but goes down smooth. 4.5 cap rating for that one. And I think that was in the box of beer that you sent over
Yeah.
to him, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Checking in for his, well, this is 1.5 million check-ins in a row, Chad Lamassa. He's drinking a Poltergeist by Tox Brewing Company, and he said a strong beer to go with a strong album. Dead Sarah's self-titled debut album. So excited to finally have one of my all-time favorite albums on vinyl. The beer is borderline boozy, but citrusy and yummy. 5 cap rating for that Poltergeist by Tox Brewing Company. Next on the list, this one's a bit celebratory. Batman Dan is drinking
Yeah.
a Ginny by Trim Tab Brewing Company. This is his 100th check-in on Untapped. And he said, a mixed fermentation barrel aged 24 months. Tastes like an oak aged sour with strawberry, maybe? Only gave it a 3.5 cap rating, but 100 check-ins.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like you said, Denny, in the comments. Hey, congrats on the centennial check-in. You're on your way to 10K. So, so congratulations on the 100 check-ins. Listen, we're making a craft beer hobby seem like alcoholism seem like a cool hobby, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Got to collect them all. Let's see. Scrolling on up the list, David Martin drinking a Bananas Foster blender by Hopfly Brewing. Really nice banana notes and a slight caramel taste. 4.25 caps for that one. Matt Griffo checking into a Magnanimous Crimson Harvest by Magnanimous Brewing
Wow.
at Magnanimous Brewing. He said, I forgot to check this one in the other day, but it's really good. The world needs more red IPAs.
Yeah.
Couldn't
Yeah.
agree more,
Yeah, I
Matt.
love red IPAs.
4.5 cap rating for that one. And a second one for him is If You Lose Your Way Tonight by
Burial.
Burial. For sure on brand tonight. And 4.75 caps for the If You Lose Your Way Tonight by Burial Beer Company. And that is what everybody is drinking.
Nice. That's a nice wide variety of beers. Hit some milestones
We got
there as
red
well.
IPA on there. We got
Red IPA.
milestones.
Yeah.
Got
That's
sand in your Schwartz.
yeah, nothing's worse than standing your Schwartz.
I had plenty in my Schwartz today.
All right. Well, you know what's not funny is Naked River Brewing's Moon Pie Pastry Stout. We're going to taste right now. So we're going to open up this bad boy. This is the Tennessee beer that Batman Dan provided to us. This one comes in at 8.5% ABV. You notice that we're started slow and
Start small and
working
go.
up big here.
Yeah.
64 IBUs. And this is out of Chattanooga, Tennessee. It says the beer that hung the moon. This incredibly rich, smooth, and creamy stout is brewed with 100% fresh-baked moon pies in collaboration with Moon Pie, an all-American iconic snack made with pride by Chattanooga. Do you have two of them? Wait. Are there
This
two
one's
different ones?
this
Oh, that
one's
one's
empty.
Okay. Made with pride at Chattanooga Bakery Incorporated. Moon Pie became famous as the workman's lunch. Now our Moon Pie Stout is the workman's reward. All right, so I did pull this out before we started the
Oh, I
Untapped
did
Craft
not.
segment, so hopefully
Hang
it's
on.
not too cold. Oh, you're still drinking the IPA.
Not anymore.
All right, so I've been curious about this Moon Pie since I saw it in the box of goodies sent to
So,
us.
so I'm a couple things is one, I know you're not a fan of sweet things.
Yeah.
but I
Not a fancy.
feel that you are going to like this one because
Okay.
it is not very sweet, but the flavors are still there, which is
Okay.
good. And this was so cool to see because when I was growing up, my grandmother is from Tennessee. Um, and she used to bring moon pies back from Tennessee when she would go visit before moon pies were available all across the
Everywhere.
country.
Yeah.
So like I thought this was really cool. And those to me as like a 5, 6, 7 year old kid were like the greatest things on the planet. Um, so this was just a cool
Yeah. So, remind me, moon pies are just like marshmallow
so
cookie
so they're like a
chocolate things?
graham cracker
Graham
cookie.
cracker?
They're a lot softer and then they have a piece of marshmallow in the middle and then the
Okay.
outside is coated with chocolate, vanilla.
Yeah.
We get key lime ones here in Florida. I
Okay.
don't know if everybody else does, but um so marshmallow, graham cracker, cookie.
Okay. So I can definitely smell. I mentioned marshmallow because I can smell
Yeah.
I can smell the marshmallow on the nose, and then yeah, I can probably pick up some graham cracker-ish character in there too. It does smell sweet, and that like Kris said, that worries me a bit. But hey, I'm willing to try anything, and I'm curious about this one. It is nice and dark. It when I was pouring it, it did look like it's a bit thinner, not a thick stout. So it looks like
Yes.
it's like a thinner stout, but it did have a nice, decent head on there. Light cappuccino head. You know, stuck around. Well, your head is big. You
Yeah.
got a big head.
Thank you. Oh, it's so sweet.
Okay, so I'm gonna take a sip of this thing.
It smells so good though. I remember when I poured it, I love the way it smells.
Oh wow, you're right. It's not overly sweet, but there is some sweetness in there.
Yep. But I love
It's
that it's roastier and has some more of
yeah,
that dark chocolate flavor and that roast
yeah. It's
instead of
got
just
some
being like
bitterness in
milk
there. That
chocolate.
yeah. It's got some bitterness in there that comes out. It it's also Tootsie Rollish.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is not too sweet at all. It's actually really good.
It surprised me because when I drank my first one, I was I automatically was like, oh man, I'm gonna have to split this 12-ounce can with somebody because it's just gonna be, a syrup in a
No, it's
can with
not.
beer in it.
Yeah, yeah,
And it
not
is not.
syrupy, but the marshmallow definitely comes out big in the after flavor as well. I get just that marshmallow character in there. So it's like chocolate, Tootsie Roll chocolate with marshmallows,
Yeah.
and some and you also can get some of that graham crackery character in there too. And I almost want to say like I think it's a sweetness of the marshmallows and the graham cracker and everything mixing together, but almost kind of like in the residuals in my mouth, I feel like there's like hints of maple syrup, but I think it's just the flavors blending together gives me that that flavor. so 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 Jesse hates marshmallows, huh?
Apparently.
Hmm.
Jesse, you said earlier sounds like a good song title, but that was 5 minutes ago. We've said some goofy stuff. What are you talking about? Oh, Santa. I bet it was Santa in my Schwartz.
Yeah. Yeah, this okay, I'm getting more graham cracker right in the mid. Like the mid, like I take a sip and I get that graham cracker like floating right in the middle of the flavor and does well to complement the marshmallow sweetness, graham cracker in the middle, bitterness that comes out at the finish with a Tootsie Roll chocolate kind of dark chocolate and stuff. It's a complex beer, way more complex than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was
Yeah,
going to be like a a gimmick beer, but this is not a gimmick beer. This is actually really well done.
that's exactly what I texted Dan when I drank it. I said I thought this was gonna be some novelty beer, and
Yeah.
it's actually really good.
Yeah. And and the other key thing, here's a real kicker. I can't tell there's any alcohol in this thing. I mean, really, there's no alcohol. I'm not getting any alcohol burn or anything,
For
right? It's
what?
8.5%.
8.4 or something like that?
Yeah, I mean, I would expect a sweeter beer, and again, it's not too sweet, but a little bit sweeter with a higher ABV would feel that alcohol, but there is no alcohol.
And it's 64 IBU, so it's definitely a little more on the bitter side. That last beer we just had was 75 and a half IBUs.
Yeah,
So this isn't too far off of that.
yeah, I like this beer. Thank you, Dan. I'm glad you threw this in there. I was worried, and I was also worried I wasn't gonna be able to finish it easily. I mean, I always finish all my beers, but again, I'm almost halfway done, and I'm really enjoying this one. And um, yeah, it's really good, really good.
Denny and I are
Okay,
pounding beers tonight. This is
we're pounding
yeah.
beers. Okay, Kris, we're starting to get a little long in the show. Let's finish this off by doing our new and noteworthy beers. So, what new and noteworthy beers have you had this last month?
So I've had a handful of them. Dan said, "Glad you like it." I've had a handful of them, but these were kind of my highlights over the last, I guess, month.
Yeah,
Um,
it's been a month.
so we were chatting with Pontoon Brewing last episode, and um, the first one I have is from Tampa Bay Brewing Company. It's called New School. And it is I believe it was just a hazy IPA, but I went after this beer specifically because it had anchovy hops in it.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And so I had this beer at a beer event, I don't know, a couple months ago. And at the beer event, I don't know how most people do it, but when I go, I'm like, okay, I'll try this beer and I'll drink it and I'll try to sip on it and I'm trying to talk to people and have a
Yeah, you lose track.
conversation
Yeah.
and I'm drinking it and I'm like, okay, yeah, it's all right. So I really didn't think too much of it, but then we had that conversation about the anchovy hop and
Yep.
I went, all right, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna give it another go. I went to Tampa Bay Brewing Company. I bought a 4 pack of it and just went, all right, I'm gonna try it. And I'm glad I did because initially, I want to say I rated it like 3.75 initially, but that was at the beer festival
hmm
where God only knows what was in my glass at the time before I got this beer. Um, and man, I am so glad I did because one of the big characters in the anchovy hop is a watermelon candy
Yeah. Yep.
flavor. And man, it's very noticeable in this beer. Um, and I actually messaged Anthony Stone, is the head brewer with Tampa Bay Brewing Company, and it's like, I love this beer. He goes, good because we've gotten a little bit of we've got pretty good reviews on it so far. He goes,
Hmm.
but we weren't sure how people were going to take it, and
Yeah.
it was so cool to just have that conversation, to just go, okay, I don't care what it tasted like. I'm going to try it again. And I'm glad I did because again, 4.5 caps is what I gave this beer when I actually had the time to
Nice.
try it
Yeah.
and pick out the flavors from it and enjoy it. And um, yeah, just a solid, great beer, which I think I have 2 or 3 more cans in my fridge that I need to drink.
Nice.
Next on my list is from Barriehaus. So we're
Hmm.
still sticking in Florida, in Tampa. They had a fresh hop beer called Fresh in Town. And they actually overnighted some fresh hops
Oh.
from your neck of the woods, Denny. And my first taste of this beer, I got a little worried, but I was stupid because I drank it out of the can.
Oh, yeah. You need to breathe a little bit and
Yeah,
get the.
and I drank it out of the can, and I was drinking it, and I'm going, hmm, there's some, I guess, like there was definitely some greenery flavors in it, like
Yeah.
the
Yeah. Could be vegetal.
I don't want to call
Definitely.
it vegetal, right? But not the off flavor vegetal, but man, you can definitely tell there's some chlorophyll in that one.
Oh,
Um,
yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
but it kind of caught me off guard. I'm like, I'm trying in my head to try to like break it down and what am I tasting and just trying to be partial to it and go, well, is it supposed to taste like this? And so I drank a second one and I poured it in a glass
Nice.
because, I feel like I'm a semi-professional beer drinker at this point. And I should, pour it in a glass, let it aerate, let it breathe a little bit. And again, so glad I did
Mm.
because this one, I was just hanging out in the driveway, listening to some music, cracked a beer, and just it's weird to say that we yeah, it's weird to say that we got fresh hop beer in Florida,
Yeah.
but we did, and Barriehaus Jim and his team uh, did a great job with it. So if I gave that one 4.5 caps.
Nice.
Now I have a all of these beers I just realized are all IPAs,
Yeah.
which
Oh wait, Barriehaus did an IPA as well?
it's a West Coast, oh, so lager.
A
So it was
Pilsner?
oh
Lager? A Pilsner? Yeah.
yeah, I think it was a West Coast style Pilsner. So
Yeah.
kind of.
Yeah.
My next one would be Pontoon Brewing, their Festival Dust.
Yeah. Yeah. They were on the
Th
show last.
Yeah, that was what we one of the thank you, Matt. Matt said fresh hoppers can get polyphenol heavy.
Oh,
But again,
official name.
I'm glad I poured it in a glass because initially I'll say this and as kind of like I'm glad I tasted it again. Drinking it out of the can, I got like aromas and flavors of like cat urine. And I was like,
Hmm.
oh, this is kind of tough, but I've powered through it. And like, again, so glad I poured it in the glass and enjoyed it that way. Um, so, but hey, 4.5 caps on that one. So Pontoon Brewing's Festival Dust. Denny, that was the one with that had the Pineapple Express terpenes in
Yeah.
it. Uh,
Yeah.
that was just a juice bomb beyond juice bombs.
Hmm.
Because it was super tropical and you could definitely tell the pineapple flavors were in there. I gave that one a 5 cap rating because
Nice.
man, that was an IPA that just went down so easy.
Hmm.
And I mean, the conversation probably made it better too. The conversation and
Yeah.
the people made it better too. But it was just such a good beer. I did not expect to see a beer that had terpenes in it and go, oh, wow, this is really so good. I had expectations of it before I drank it, and they knocked it out of the park with that one. So I hope I get to try that one again in the very near future. And the last but not least is a beer that I got from you.
Mm.
So thank you for sending me this one. Fresh is best from Crux Fermentation Project. I gave this one 4.5 caps, and I literally texted you, I'm in love
Yeah.
with this beer. Um, and I love it was an easy drinker. I didn't get any of those
Hmm.
heavy polyphenol notes.
Hmm.
So thank you for that, Matt. Um, but it was very smooth. There was no, it wasn't punch you in the face with hops. It was just very easy to drink.
Yeah.
And then it was also one of those ones where just got done with work, just hanging out in the driveway. The weather here is starting to turn. Like it was a perfect day to be at the beach today. Um, but the weather here is starting to just get into that, in the afternoon, it's like a 74, 75 with a breeze in the afternoon. So it was a perfect beer to be enjoying out in the driveway, listening to some good music. So Crux
Nice.
Fermentation Projects, fresh is best. Gave that a 4.5 cap rating for that one.
Yeah. I tried to get another 6 pack of that, and it was gone.
Mm. Well, to be expected, because
Yeah.
damn,
Yeah. It's
that one's a good one.
they don't last. They don't last in the shells too long. I was able to go and get a couple other ones that were still available. I got the last Mother Earth's fresh as it gets. I got the last one, and then I picked up some more Fremont Brewing's head full of fresh hops.
Well, I
So I've been
love,
drinking a lot of fresh hop beers while they're available because they're only
well,
available for that short window.
yeah, it's kind of towards the end of fresh hop season for you guys too, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean it literally only yeah, it starts in September, like mid to late September, and then
Until
yeah,
it's gone.
it's ending right now. Yeah,
Yeah.
as the beers are they were showcased in the beginning of October,
Okay.
and now towards the end of October they're gone.
Matt Griffo said we can go outside now. Finally. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Matt, as close as you and I are, we need to do some driveway beers or something here very soon. Um, but what about you, Denny? You've got a hell of a list, and there's one of them on there
I,
specifically that I really love that you have on there too.
okay. Well, let me know which one that is. But first, I'm starting off with Good People's Brewing IPA. Again, this was supposed to be said last show, but we didn't get it on there. I already said enough about that one. 5 cap rating in my book. I had the next 5 cap rating is I did go to Pocatello and partake in Jim Dandy beers, and the Jim Dandy's Brewing's Sunveil pomegranate and pineapple sour. Remember, I was talking about sours. I just don't drink a lot of them anymore because I just can't handle them. Well, this pomegranate and pineapple sour, I loved it so much. I had 3 pints while I was that weekend. So two
Mm.
for Friday and Saturday. I had 1 pint on Friday night, and then Saturday I said I just want to have 2 pints. I had 2 pints of it on Saturday because it's just so good. Five cap rating, and I'm trying to. Oh, here it is. Oh, here's my untap. It says Davis outdid himself with this sour. Incredible balance of flavor and tartness between the pomegranate and pineapple. So damn drinkable, it makes you want to follow up with a second pint. So glad I was able to get it from the brewery while I was visiting. They do not can any sours or anything that has any kind of fruit in it. So you have to drink it
Oh,
on tap
really?
at the brewery. Yeah, they won't can anything that has any fruit in it. So I just happened to be there when it was available. I'm so glad I was because 5 cap rating. One of the beers that I sent out to a few people, Mother Earth's Brew Company's Project X Mystical Misfit
Mm.
New England IPA. This beer I gave a 4.5 cap rating. And what I said about this, berry-licious hop goodness, because it's got like berry flavors in it, really good. Slight mint in the finish, very tasty play on the hazy IPA, and great artwork. 4.5 cap rating. I actually picked up 2 more 4 packs of this beer because I enjoy it so
It
much.
was
So
good.
it's
It
good.
was
Yeah,
so good.
I really do love these Mother Earth Project X beers because they really do a good job on them.
Those Project X beers, I think I've had three of them now. And I mean, every time they're 4.5 cap
Yeah,
ratings, if not
yeah,
higher.
and they're all different.
Yeah.
They're not phoning in these hazy IPAs because all of them are hazy IPAs and they all have different flavor profiles. And I'm shocked that they can continue to make these things unique and not just be the same thing you have,
Yes.
every one. So it's pretty cool. All right, next beer is Red Clay Brewing's Miura Dark Cape Coffee Stout.
This one. This was the one I
This
was.
is the one.
Yes.
Now I don't remember where I got this from.
You got that from Dan.
Okay, I was going to say I think it's from Dan, but my memory is just crap. But yeah, Red Clay Brewing Company. It's a coffee stout. I gave this one a 4.5 cap rating. I said this reminds me of a really good black lager. Has a very subtle coffee with dark chocolate. Offers a bit of sweetness, but really is balanced with the bitterness and is very drinkable. A lighter bodied stout, but really easy drinking. Thanks, Dan. Yeah, there, Dan. I said right there. Dan gave it to me. 4.5. Yeah, really. I mean, I really enjoyed that beer, and I thought it was done really well with the balance of the coffee and the chocolate. Everything was really nice. Okay, next one. Vocation Brewery Silent Night Imperial Pastry Stout.
Wow, that's a little out of your normal, huh?
Yeah, this one I got from my buddy Alex Fuchs from Israel. This is a I think this is a England beer from England. I think I can't. I'm bad.
Well,
Uh,
listen, I don't expect you to keep track of all of them anyway.
yeah. But I gave this one a 4.5 cap rating. I said rich, thick, dark chocolate mint, super solid stout with just the right amount of mint with a decadent dark chocolate flavored, which is prominent. I believe it is 10%, but it doesn't feel that powerful while drinking it. Thanks, Alex. So yeah, really good mint, dark chocolate mint pastry stout was, I mean,
Mm.
fantastic. Really, really well done.
Well, then that part, that is kind of more up your alley because I know we've had some like
Yeah.
thin mint kind of beers and stuff in the past.
Yeah, I like thin mint. But I'm really a big fan of dark chocolate
Yeah.
things. Right? I don't like sweet chocolate or milk chocolate. I like dark, bitter chocolate. That's my jam. Okay, next beer. I'm going quick through these. Uh, Sticking with the theme of fresh hop beers is Bale Breaker Brewing Citrus Slicker Wet Hop IPA 2025 version. Uh, and this one I think was a collaboration with another brewery too. I'll check here in a second. It says my lovely wife picks me up beers when she goes out to the co-op, and she grabbed this one last night. A great wet hop beer with some dankness, crispiness, citrus oil with some stone fruit flavor mixed in. No vegetal notes, only clean West Coast IPA characteristics. 4.5 cap rating for that one. And let me see the collaboration with this. It's Bellbreaker and Cloudburst Brewing.
Oh, that's a heck of a
Cloudburst
collaboration.
is a great brewery in Seattle that that definitely makes some fantastic IPA. So yeah, I knew when she picked this up for me and I saw that it was Bellbreaker, so Bellbreaker is on a hop farm. It's actually a brewery on a hop farm. And so they just started making, the hop farm just started brewing beer and it became Bellbreaker. So they make really good IPAs, and then Cloudburst makes really good IPAs as well. And the last beer I'll talk about is the one I already kind of mentioned, Fremont Brewing's Head Full of Fresh Hops Hazy IPA, 4.5 cap rating. Now, this beer comes out every year. I get it every year. I've checked it in, but guess what? Untapped didn't have my check-in, so I rechecked into it
Those
this
bastards.
year. Yeah. And I said, it says, appears my previous check-in is gone, so I'll check into it this year. Pleasant citrus oil aroma, great bursts of tangerine, citrus oil, and floral flavors with a slight dankness. Crisp yet soft with a solid bitterness to finish it off. 4.5 cap rating.
That's
There you go, Chris.
they're full I don't know, they're head full of series.
Dynamite, yeah,
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 the Dynamite and Fresh House, like that's like their version of the Project X from
yeah,
Mother
yeah,
Earth.
yeah. It
And
kind of is.
anytime I can get a hold of those, I'll grab them. And I remember when I was after I came to visit you and we went to the Gorge Amphitheater, I went and hung out with my buddy. Geez, what is his name?
he's
Wow.
he's
I
he's
can
a really
picture his
good
face. You're a really good friend.
he's a really good
Um,
friend.
Brady, there we go. And he was like, "Hey man, have a beer, like whatever you want out of the cooler." And I opened the cooler, and there was a fresh uh, head full of dynamite sitting on
Oh
top of
yeah.
the cooler. And I went, "Oh, I know what I'm having."
Hmm.
And I was so excited to see that. He lives in Oregon, so it was like, "Oh, I forget that you guys get this stuff."
Oh yeah. Yeah, yeah. I tried. Now they've done like 60 versions of that head full of
Wow.
dynamite. I wish I could say I've had every one. I haven't, but I've had a lot of those.
Yeah,
The problem with that series though is I feel that that it's not that I have one and it's like this tastes like something I've had before, or
sure.
it's just not that great. Because there's so many. It's they were good at first, and then they started just like trying different things, but they weren't quite working. And sometimes you get a really good one, and sometimes you don't get that great of one, which is unlike like I said, the Project X. There's been one Project X beer that was like, a 3 cap rating versus all the other ones that are 4.5 or 5 cap rating because they're all, really good. So, okay, Kris, this show is getting to the point where we need to start closing it up. But before we shut her down, it's time to raise a glass. And who would you like to raise a glass to tonight?
So I want to raise a glass to Batman Dan.
Yes, for
for
sure.
sending all the beers that we enjoyed on tonight's show. Dan, we really appreciate that, man. Getting these out to Denny and I we can't thank you guys enough for that. And also Batgirl Jessie, because yes, I am going to call you that, even though I know you don't like it. For the voicemails, even though you didn't like those too, I thought they were awesome. So, guys, cheers to Dan and Jesse for the beers and the voicemails. Thank you guys so much for interacting with us all the time, even when we're not recording. When you say, "Hey, we're at this brewery," or "Hey, we're checking into this beer," thank you guys for interacting with us on such a regular basis.
Yeah.
And Denny, who would you like to raise a glass to?
All right. First, I'll raise my glass to our Patreon toast tonight. Goes out to Mr. Bill Slimmer. Cheers, Bill. Thank you for your patronage. And then I also have a little sadder note. I want to raise my glass to a couple colleagues that my company had a global layoff, unexpected. I mean, we had no idea it was coming, and they had to reduce our forces. It had a little bit of a riff. And so I lost a coworker. She's
Jesus.
still alive. She's still alive, but
Still alive.
I had to say goodbye to a coworker who, a younger engineer that really in this year stepped up and was doing some great work, and I really was enjoying working with her and seeing her grow and gaining confidence. And she was just doing really well. And then the shock of last week when all of a sudden we found out that she was let go from the company was just a shock to all of us. And so Paige, cheers to you for all the great work that you did. And I hope you're able to find another job, very, very quickly. And then to my buddy Peter, who's wants to toast our hosts. Now his is a different story. He also got let go, but he was going to retire in May anyway. And it turns out that the severance package that he got ends up paying him more than he would have gotten if he would have probably worked until May. So he gets to retire 6 months earlier than planned. But cheers to you, Peter. I'll miss our lively lunch conversations that we had every day because good conversations. And a positive note to my wife Sarah, whose birthday is the following Monday. So cheers to you, sweetheart, on your birthday. And let's just say all the former servicemen and all the current servicemen out there protecting our freedoms, thank you for your service. I'm going to raise my glass, and I hope all who are deployed are able to return home safely to your families very soon.
Cheers to that.
And you can find the beers mentioned on the show on our show notes located on the show post at taptocraft.com. And it is last call. It's time to bring this show to a close. We want to thank you for listening. And we ask you to please tell a friend and, of course, subscribe on your favorite podcast app. And as a reminder, we release a new show every 2 weeks. Now go out there and spread the good word of craft beer. Cheers.
Cheers.